Alrighty, hello there everybody and welcome to today's video. In this one we're going to be reacting to the Solar Raid reveal panel. Now, this is going to be unbiased, uncensored, just going to give my thoughts, no bullshit, and we'll see what it's like. Now, I've seen quite a few of the leaks, so I don't know how much of this is really going to come as a surprise, but from what I have seen, this really should be a very, very good season. So let's jump into the panel and see what it's all about.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Operation Solar Raid. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and today we're sharing a huge season with you. It all starts with a new squad that specializes in stealth and is led by none other than Caveira herself. It's called Ghost Eyes. The new operator will be joining this covert crew, and creative director Alexander Karpazis is here to reveal more. Now, brace yourself, because there's a lot happening this season, and you don't want to miss it.
Hey everyone, super excited to introduce Operation Solar Raid, probably our biggest season ever. From top to bottom, we're adding a ton of features that you've asked about, including cross-play, cross-progression.
Oh, okay, so here's the look at the roadmap for Year 7. Now, it had a couple of adjustments, I think, throughout the year, but as you can see, the main points for this season, crossplay, cross-progression, rank 2.0, which is what I am most excited for, and the rep system is slowly but surely getting rolled out.
Really important for you. The team's been working super hard to deliver it, and we have so much more. This season, we're introducing another new squad. It's Ghost Eyes, led by Caveira, and a newcomer, Solis.
I don't particularly care too much for lore,
this
so
is the squad of secrecy.
you can sort of just skip over this, just let it play out.
Of intel, and you'll get to learn a lot more about their story.
I will say some of the CGIs for some of the seasons recently have been really good though.
Solis, the new operator that's joining Rainbow Six and the
Solis,
Ghost Eyes
new
squad.
operator. Cool.
And we have a new map, Nighthaven.
New map, hopefully it's good. Does look nice.
And to battle. It's unlike anything else we've ever introduced in the game, and we hope you have a lot of fun exploring it. Anti-cheat and anti-toxicity is one of the most important topics for us.
Oh, he said the words anti-cheat.
It's really special for us today to introduce the reputation score in-game. It's coming to you in a beta phase, so you get to know it a little bit more, and we're introducing more security features in our game to make sure that it is more resilient and more fair for everybody to play. All of this and much more, we have quality of life features that are coming in, balancing changes that are coming in, and even more on top of that. So we can't wait to share everything that the team's been working so hard on this season.
Okay.
Operation Solar Raid is coming, and it is a big one. But before we break it down for you, here's a glimpse of your new operator in action on the new Nighthaven Labs map. Solis joins the defenders with an electronics detecting augmented reality headset that allows her to not just spot attacker gadgets in action, but also reveal them to her teammates.
Okay, now I saw this. This got leaked ages ago, but holy, this finally feels like a really good, viable operator being brought into the game. I think we've had a couple of doozies recently. Sens and Grim were both pretty average. But straight off the bat, this operator on defense is going to be so incredibly strong. The pre-placed drone meta is going to get a huge shakeup because I anticipate, at least in comp play, teams are going to send out this defender, try to find those drones. That's going to shape up sort of how you play that meta in the prep phase. So that's really exciting. Finally, a bit of a shakeup, so that's cool. And yeah, just the ability to spot this information and for it to get pinged out to teammates, I think is going to be really powerful. And even ranked, right, you're going to get, I think, better rewarded for synchronizing with the team and being coordinated. So I think on the surface, this operator is really cool.
In the asymmetrical battlegrounds of Siege, intel is power, and Solis delivers the goods.
In combo with yellow pings as well. Holy.
Attackers will have to play smart.
Imagine Matt's like Villa. Oh my god, you gotta be so careful when you're droning.
This season, as Solis, the new defender, has her eyes on their gadgets. So how did her high-tech look come together? Concept artist Sunshine Kim will tell us more while Director of Gameplay Design Jeremy Carvin and
Also a
game
really
designer
cool-looking
Dominic
operator.
Clement give us the details on her gadget
Seen a lot of people
and the
compliment
new
it,
opportunities
and
it
I
unlocks.
agree. Looks pretty badass.
We wanted Solis's gadget to grab immediate attention from the audience. I immediately thought of examples like Jackal and Nuck.
Sunshine does awesome work, by the way. I might even drop her Twitter in the bio. Some of the concept work she does is fucking
Because of their
insanely
gadget,
cool.
Inox and the HEL creates immediate attention. Their gadgets are something that separates it from just being a generic soldier. And we wanted Solis to have a similar treatment. We allow the gadget to have
Goggles
a
look
little bit
dope.
more futuristic vibe, while her rest of design is a lot more toned down, which makes the gadget pop up even more. It wasn't enough. There's something missing, we felt. That's when the antenna idea came up, which goes up when it's activated and goes down when it's deactivated. It might be a small element, but it adds so much taste.
So to design Solis' device, we were looking for something that needed two hands to be operated and something that wasn't going to take too much of the vision space. So we thought about augmented reality. We were very excited with all the modern visual that it could add to the game. Solis kit is made of three main parts: the helmet, the bracelet, and the gloves. So when the helmet turns on, the screen switches from transparent to glowy yellow, and the HUD elements start to show for the user. The second part.
Now I know some people are going to be like, this isn't realistic. This is like futuristic. Bro, that ended in like season 2 when Jackal came out. It is the most worn out, tiring argument I see used for new gadgets in the game. I just completely disagree with it. I could not give a shit.
Part is the bracelet. It's used as a placement tag for the AR interface. And this AR interface is shaped as a 3D ring. It's used by Solis to interact with the gadget. The last part is the scan, and the scan is the middle part of this AR interface. And when the scan is performed, you have this pulse of 3D lines that starts and fades in the distance, giving the position of every electronic device on its way.
Okay, so it looks like when you scan for red pings, it then immediately cancels the gadget and puts it on cooldown. So there is a good trade-off there, which is pretty smart. I like that.
Came from a brainstorm that we had, and a question arose. Well, what if we have an IQ on defense? You see that there's a lot of electronic gadgets. You have breaching charges, you have claymores, and tons and tons of drones and cameras. So it just made.
One thing I've just noticed watching that clip, this is going to make Zero even worse. So that kind of sucks to him.
sense that
Assuming
the
it-
defense would
I'm
have a
assuming his
tool
gadget gets
similar
spotted.
to what the attackers have. She'll have a zone in the center of her screen where she'll be able to identify these gadgets and tell precisely, okay, that's a drone, that's a claymore, or that's a breaching charge. She's the only one who gets to see this information. If she wants to share with the team, she needs to use our communication tools like voice chats or text chat. But if she wants quick and easy communication with the rest of the team as to like where these gadgets are and what to do with them, she can use her secondary ability, which will send a pulse on her screen and will smart ping every gadget in the center of her screen. So the ones that are identified will be smart ping, giving a clear indication to the rest of the team where they are and what to do with them. Usually with loadouts, we try to give flexibility for players.
Now, I don't know if it's going to get mentioned later, but I think one issue with this might be a lack of player feedback for attack. It would be nice if they knew their gadget got scanned. Maybe that's overcomplicating it. I don't know.
We give the P90 as a primary because it's a super good SMG, super interesting, and another SMG
Good loadout.
as a sidearm because
Not really
it's
much to
also
comment.
a really good weapon. We're also giving Solis a shotgun because being able to crate rotate and help on site and help like reshape the map is also very, very interesting for an operator like this. And with the sidearm, again, that is SMG, it allows you to bring the shotgun and still have an SMG at hand if you really need to defend yourself. We're finally giving the P90 to an operator as a primary weapon, nonetheless a 2-2 operator, so 2 health and 2 speed operator.
This is going to be insane. The P90 is fucking insane.
And a big magazine on an operator that can move quite fast.
I wonder what magnifications they'll
When
have.
Solis has the ability on, she doesn't have any weapons, so she can't really defend herself unless she turns off the ability and then pulls back her weapon. Giving the impact to Solis allows her to kind of help her destroy any gadgets coming her way as a last resort.
Okay, that's cool. You can use
If she
impacts
doesn't have
while the
anything else
ability's
and
live.
she's
I
in
like
panic
that.
and
It's
she
kind of
needs
nice.
to deal with
Makes
the
sense.
utility that she sees, or she needs to get away.
Can also see
quickly,
the plant
she can
as well,
use the
that's cool.
impact to create a rotation or use the impact to destroy any utility that she detects. The bulletproof cam is very useful in combination with the gadget because you can detect a gadget and then use the bulletproof cam with the EMP shot to disable the gadget.
Yeah, I mean, the synergies make perfect sense for the gadgets.
It's interesting to synergize with Bandit because if you have a Bandit that is on a
Yo, okay, I didn't even think of this synergy. Bandit tricking just got a whole lot more interesting. I mean, it might be. I don't think the comp will really make too much more of a difference, but yeah, okay, that's kind of cool.
Bandit trick, she can actually be right behind him and tell Bandit, okay, they're going to be breaching the left wall, the right wall, the middle wall. It can give much clearer information as to where Bandit needs to put his batteries.
Oh, the sound is bad, so anything helps, I guess.
Detect and spot the drones coming towards the site. She can give this information to Mozzie so Mozzie can place his fest and hopefully capture as many drones as he can.
That one's a bit
Solis
more
has
of a
few
niche synergy.
counters. If you're facing a Solis that is hankering on site, you might want to bring a Thatcher or the EMP grenades. They're really useful
Good
to
Thatcher buff.
disable and deny Solis her ability. If you have an IQ also, that's a very useful operator to hunt down Solis because when the visor is activated, IQ can actually detect it and spot it and
Good
hunt
IQ
down the
buff.
Solis maybe anchoring on site. If you're facing a Solis that is roaming around, you might want to bring your classic roam clear operator like Lion, a Grim, and Jackal. They're very useful to kind of flush out these roamers. The thing with Solis is since she doesn't have a weapon when the ability is on, she can be pretty vulnerable. At the
Okay,
end of the
okay.
day, Solis
All the
is
theory
an
crafting's
intel
making
collector,
sense.
So if you know that she's collecting intel and you have an idea on how you can probably trick her, that's also a very useful counter to Solis. If you can think of ways, creative ways of kind of like lying to her, it can get some pretty cool interaction.
Bro, you cannot drone on a soft surface anymore.
Nighthaven Labs. It's an imposing research.
Yeah, so look, in summary, new operator I think is amazing. So many cool interactions. Genuinely seems viable, fun to play. Ticks a lot of boxes. So, yep, gets my tick of approval.
Base. And it's the new map coming in Operation Solar Raid. Now, I told you about banning maps last season, didn't I? Well, let me tell you this. You won't be able to ban this map at launch.
Okay, so Nighthaven cannot be banned at launch. I'm still personally pretty torn on this. I don't know how I feel about taking away the agency from the player, but I do also understand that players are just super frustrating and just do not want to play new maps. So I don't really have an issue with this, but the caveat to that is if the map sucks, get it out at the end of the season. Do not keep it in or get it or remove the ban protection after 2 weeks or whatever. Do not jam it down our throats if the map is not good, please. But I don't mind it being
You'll hear
unbannable
more
for a
on
little
that
bit.
later, but for now, Team Lead Jeremy Dowsett is here to take you on a tour of Nighthaven Labs.
So this is actually one of the first maps we've done that actually incorporates the lore. It's Nighthaven, it's a research facility.
I like the
whole
idea
map
that they're
is very
incorporating the
brick,
lore
and
into the
even
map. That's nice,
outside
and it
has
looks
a very
nice.
corporate
It's a really
feel.
cool looking map.
But the inside, you'll see, it's like a normal office space with the research lab down in the basement. So the basement only has one bomb site. It's optimized for navigation and flow. And we went for a more optimized design, so it's quite compact in its shape, but there's
Okay, so basement bomb site. Okay. Interesting. Looks like you can get decent footholds over towards the northeast and set up your attack going forward. The bomb site most westerly looks pretty rough to attack depending on what the vert options are because there's no destructible walls on that side of the map. I mean, there are some exterior walls. I think overall this site looks pretty interesting. I don't know if it really shows any windows. Maybe that's what like the destructible piece is at the bottom left. I'm not too sure. Okay, it looks interesting there.
a lot of entryways from the exterior helipad, and there's lots of ingress and egress that you can actually do to the sites. There's a little Easter egg down there, hiding away, not so subtly. So first floor has 2 bomb sites. It's very clean. There's a cafeteria. There's lots of small rooms, big rooms. There's a warehouse there with some.
Okay, this is where it starts to get a little bit crazy. First floor looks like it is quite complex. So there's 2 sets of objectives here. Yeah, a lot to digest. The thing with siege maps, I feel like it is so hard on a surface level to be too critical on them. It takes months to play them, and they're either just good or bad. Like working out what makes a siege map good is really, really tough. I think there's been an issue with a lot of maps being very reliant on window entries and stuff like that, whereas some of the more classical like maps that have stood the test of time have like really good like exterior breach options and places for the attack to sort of foothold their attacks. So we'll see if that's the case here. It looks like it might, but it's so hard to just say that from the top down.
The warehouse is super interesting when you get close to it because it's an open area with a catwalk above it. So what you're going to find, especially if you're playing on the second floor or you're trying to come in from the second floor, dropping down onto the first floor, you're going to find
this gives like
interesting the entry
clubhouse garage vibes a little bit, maybe.
Quite interesting sight lines and opportunities for quite sneaky and quite fun kills. Second floor, like the basement, only 1 bomb site. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. The warehouse is an interesting.
Okay, so second floor here looks a little bit more interesting. I think the first floor is not going to be too fun to attack, but second floor looks a bit more interesting because you have the outside to maybe set up some footholds and some exterior breaches and stuff like that. So that looks a little bit more interesting, and there are places to sort of foothold your attacks and stuff. Whereas I think the first floor might be a little bit more
You're obviously exposed
like,
from gunfire
compact,
below
I don't
because
know.
of the catwalk. You go into the command center and servers, which are the bomb sites, and there's a couple of breakable walls off of the warehouse catwalk. There's an exterior wall on a balcony that allows you to get in quite quickly and hold some angles, and then there's meeting and electrical.
I'm a big
On
fan
one
of
the
those
roofs, there's
exterior
a risk
wall sort
versus
of
reward
interactions.
run out to reinforce a hatch. Otherwise, it opens up some pretty interesting lines of sight, but you need to, you know, wait for the prep phase to finish, get out, and, you know, so break the barrier. Get
Okay,
out,
an exterior hatch that you may need to reinforce for the site to be viable or to reduce some lines of sight. That's an interesting interaction. Okay.
do it. The map should be going into all of the playlists that we normally release upon. It's not the same as any other map. You know, there's unique things in this one, and the map looks superb. The artists, the lighters, everyone.
It
did
is
such
a
great
really cool
job
looking map.
on this map. I'm looking forward to the reception.
Fingers crossed it plays pretty well. It looks like it has potential, I think.
Playing with your friends is important. Sometimes they play on another platform. We know you've been waiting for this feature for a long time, and it's coming this season. Crossplay and cross progression.
Thank you.
We're delighted to have associate producer Deanna Stanley to tell us all the details.
I can finally get my Xbox skins. Finally. Hopefully, if it works.
We know players have been asking about it, and we've talked about it before. It's been a long time coming, so we're super excited to announce that crossplay is coming with Season 4. PlayStation and Xbox players will matchmake together and benefit from lower wait times thanks to the larger matchmaking.
That's huge for console.
Now,
Holy
for
shit.
crossplay, PC and streaming platforms will be kept in a separate pool from consoles. We have
Makes
no
sense.
intention to merge these two communities right now, but we're super excited to bring our console players.
I think eventually it is going to get to the point where they are going to merge console and PC. How they're going to manage that, I have absolutely no idea. I think it might be at the point where like keyboard is more viable and widespread on console and actually natively supported. Because at the moment, there's no aim assist on console. They're never going to change that, and I hope they don't. And inherently, they're just going to be absolutely at a huge disadvantage compared to keyboard and mouse on PC. So who knows what the long-term vision is? No idea, but glad it's separate for now.
Together. You can invite players through both first-party platforms as well as through your Ubisoft Connect overlay. You'll be able to access your friends list through the social tab and manage your invites, requests, and squad up with your friends from other platforms. We all know communication is key in Siege, and it's no different for cross-play. So, voice communications will be enabled at launch, and the local player will be able to speak
that's
to
good. That's
and
cool.
hear cross-platform players as long as they have voice communications enabled in their options and they're on the same team. Of course, you can still manually mute players through the scoreboard during a match or through the player profile side panel. Crossplay will be enabled by default, so everyone will be opted in to start, but you can opt out at any time in the in-game settings. If you do opt out, you're going to receive a message when you try and join a squad with crossplay enabled that lets you know you need to enable the option to join that squad. Crossplay isn't the only thing that's coming this season. We're super excited to announce that cross progression is another feature
cross
hitting
progression
Siege this season. This is thanks to a data migration that's happening with the season launch. So the first time you log in, you'll see a pop-up that lets you know all of your data now lives in the cloud and is accessible from any platform anytime. So keep an eye out because we'll be posting our cross-platform synchronization blog that's going to detail how all of your different save data is handled for each case.
Hopefully it doesn't break anything.
For example, your in-game options will remain specific to each platform, as will your equipped loadout. But
Okay,
your
that's cool.
packs, operators, skins, and progression will be shared across all.
So that's really cool. So all your customization in terms of loadouts and all that separate, but all your cosmetics will be available wherever.
All
Nice.
platforms and accessible anywhere. Your rank history will be shared between similar platforms. So PC and streaming platforms will be kept in a separate pool from consoles. The highest rank achieved during the season on any console platform will be carried over to all console platforms, and the same goes for PC. So for credits and renown, they're going to be added together. So any platform that any player has played on ever is
Yo, I wonder how much renown I have on my Xbox account. I have no idea. I could have heaps.
added together and shared. So if you're a PC player playing with 800 credits, but you have an old Xbox account with 200 credits, after the data migration,
and credits,
you're
cool.
going to have 1,000 credits to spend wherever you like.
Nice. That's good.
Penalties will also be shared across all platforms,
Ah.
and the time remaining will be
Okay, that's also
calculated
good. Smart.
based upon the matches played across all those platforms since the penalties activation. Due to the data migration, we're going to be rewarding all of our players with an alpha pack at the start of the season. Siege has been live for a long time now, and we know some players have moved around. We're happy that those players are going to be able to take back those hours they grinded in Siege and play with their friends on any console they choose.
Hell yeah. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Fighting toxicity and improving our anti-cheat measures are an ongoing
anti-cheat.
priority for us. Here is Player Protection and Game Security Director Emmanuel Larive to tell you more about the next step of the reputation system and an update on preparation phase.
With the new season that is coming, we are very happy to announce that we will be launching the new reputation system. Since 2020, we have been deploying part of it during a shadow deployment to gather a lot of data from our player base in order to provide a sustainable solution for the long term. We will be starting with the first release in a beta display. The scoring will be private to yourself and available for all players. The reputation system will be looking at your gameplay behaviors, but also your interaction that you have with players. Based on that, it will paint a portrait of you and assign a specific standing. Then,
Okay, so reputation system seems pretty intuitive. If you're a dickhead, you get punished. If you're a good player, you don't, and you get penalties or bonuses. I don't mind it.
based on this standing, we will be triggering during year 8 a set of actions that will be bonuses or penalties.
So the penalties and bonuses only coming next year, and then muted voice chat year 8 season 1. I mean, this has got precedent. I know like CS, for example, does it. You get like your safety rating, and some people get auto voice chat muted. So
More and more
it's nothing brand new, but it's nice to have it.
you have a high standing, more and more we will be applying modifiers to you in terms of alpha pack, renown, XPs, and special drops.
Cool.
When we talk about penalties based on your low standing, we mainly talk about game restriction toward the game mode. So for example, a player will not have an access to the competitive playlist, but also the test server. But we will also have restrictions
Yo, you might have access to ranked. Holy, okay.
and modifier to the currency, the alpha pack, the progressions. So this first release will be very important and key for our success. We will be informing all players about how they are being perceived by the system, but also by the other players, so that they can act accordingly, but also adjust their behavior or interaction with other players. By providing guidance, information, and by bringing this new standing icon, we will be improving the play experience of everybody. By the way, I want to share with you some data toward the reputation penalties. We have seen a decrease of friendly fire by better guiding and informing all players. When we are
Really?
looking at the number of rounds impacted with at least one team kill per round, we can see a decrease of 10%. And I'm talking about per round, not per match. So this is great.
That's pretty cool.
We want to move
I mean, personally, I'm playing at a, I mean, not to play smoke up my ass or anything, playing at a rank where generally speaking, people don't just randomly like FF in prep phase or whatever. So this change isn't going to impact me, or that one didn't at least, but yeah.
move away from the toxicity
Still nice to have,
that
obviously.
the people are facing,
Because it does
and
still
we
happen a
want to
lot.
improve the
especially in lower
gameplay
ranks.
experience and provide a safer place for everybody. This is key.
Cool, I like it.
We are very glad to say that we will be removing the friendly fire from the preparation phase. We heard you.
Yo, okay, so removing friendly fire during the preparation phase. Question will be, can this be abused? I don't think so. You might be able to set up some weird angles with like impact grenades that don't damage teammates or something, but I think generally speaking, this is probably for the best. Yeah. Obviously, it's a bit of a noob-friendly feature, and I'm sure some elitists are going to be like, well, you should just be really careful in the prep phase. It's like a skill issue, but for like 90% of the player base, I think it's a good change.
By removing it, we are just securing the whole experience for everybody. So there will be no mistake anymore, so that everybody can focus on their preparation phase and then start the battle. In terms of design, if you shoot at a teammate, there will be no damage, there will be no reverse friendly fire, and the bullet will not go through. I hope you will enjoy this new change,
Yeah,
and we will
I think
be
it's
looking at
fine.
your
I
feedback
like it.
during the season launch.
I do suspect that maybe it could lead to a form of griefing where people just like spray the shit out of someone if it like makes a really annoying sound or like fucks with their vision and stuff. Maybe then it could be worse in some respects. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
We are always looking at new solutions to bring more security into the game, but also to better protect all players against cheating. And this is a priority for us. The team, over the past months, has been working hard to bring a new security measure to fight cheating. The goal is to decrease the cheating problem that you are facing, and we are really confident in this new solution that we are bringing into the game. We will monitor the effectiveness of it on all player base, on the cheater, and for sure, I will come back to you with some insights.
Yeah, so obviously they're being super ambiguous here. I think the change has been talked a little bit about on Twitter. It's like something to do with there being like multiple builds in rotation or something. So it basically means that like cheat builds don't always work and they need to be like consistently updated like every couple of hours or like something to that effect. I don't know obviously the specifics, and Ubisoft aren't going to go around sharing them, but it does sound like they are taking some steps. That is nice.
Operation Solar Raid is going to fully revamp the way our ranking system works.
Okay, Rank 2.0. My God, I am so excited for this.
It is now time for you to shine in Ranked 2.0. Associate producer Killian Callow will break down the whole host of changes that are coming.
Oh boy.
Get ready
Lay it
to
on me.
play more Ranked.
I will be playing more Ranked. I've not played Ranked at all. I've played like half a dozen games this season.
The rank playlist is a pure skill system in which there is only one value, the MMR. The MMR is used for rank and skill. Every start of the season, when we do the soft reset, because it's needed for rank progression, we are hurting the matchmaking fairness. After this soft reset, we have the placement matches to try to guess your rank as soon as possible. What are the changes in the core system? We are splitting skill and rank into two different values. The skill in one hand.
Okay, so they're putting skill and rank into two different values instead of it just being the one number.
Will be hidden and only used for matchmaking. On the other hand,
So the skill is hidden, that's used for matchmaking. Okay. This is a little bit complicated to wrap your head around, but we'll
the
get to
rank
it.
will be visible.
And the
only
rank
used for progress.
is visible.
We are removing the placement
Which is
matches
what you see.
because the only value that will be reset is the rank. You will start your rank progression at the beginning of the ladder. From now
So everybody starts at Copper 5, but not everyone has the same skill ranking. So in theory, you're not going to get what happens in like Apex, which has a somewhat similar system where like for your first like half a dozen games or a dozen games or whatever, you could just be versing absolute bots. Shouldn't be the case in this new system because you have the hidden skill based matchmaking behind it.
on, there will be rank points. There will be also 5 divisions per rank. Each division will have 100 points. Also, to help you in this progression, we included systems like the Demotion Shield that will prevent you from losing ranks easily.
They've also added in ranked drop protection, so you can't just lose your rank super easy. Kind of don't mind that.
The reward system is only giving you 1 chance per season, the one of your highest rank. For instance, if you are a silver player, you are not getting the chance below your rank, bronze and copper, and that doesn't make any sense. From now on, there will be 1 reward per division, so 5 rewards per rank, with some exclusive new items. If you finish 1 season...
Oh. So a complete rework of how rewards work. Much needed. The old charm system was so outdated, was absolutely terrible, to be completely honest. Finally being reworked, and this is going to really motivate a lot of people, I think, including myself, to do the zero to hero and keep playing ranked, and not just once you get to the rank you're normally at, just kind of give up and don't really care. Because there's a serious incentive to keep grinding, because the system actually properly rewards it now.
In Gold 5, you will get as well the rewards from Silver 1, Silver 2, Bronze and Copper. We also have an update regarding the squad restriction. With the old system, it was needed to put a skill limit within a squad to ensure balanced matches. Players should always be able to play with their friends. Because of that, it was a focus for us to provide a new solution. We are removing the squad restriction and including a new algorithm for squads that will ensure balanced matches. So please...
So they've removed MMR restrictions. Awesome, you get to play with your friends. The big downside of this is, depending on how they've changed the matchmaking algorithm, it could be a little bit cooked. So let's just hope that it properly weights players of much higher skill and matches into those games, so that you can't just do the bronze boosting that we saw a few years ago.
Send us your feedback. We would love to hear your thoughts to keep improving and working on the system.
Now,
one thing they didn't mention in this, and I would love to get clarity, did they remove the certainty factor of your rank? For those who don't know, the more you played ranked in the past, the harder it was to go up or down, because the game was like, oh, this is where you should be. You shouldn't really be changing too much. Surely under this new system that has been like reduced, removed, I hope so.
it's time to talk Battle Pass. Operation Solar Raid is introducing a brand new progression system. Instead of a traditional linear progression, you will choose the path you take to target the rewards you want and unlock them sooner. Here's a little video to show you what I mean, and then Business Strategy Director Mohammed Ben Hanada will tell you more.
Rainbow Six Siege Battle Pass has evolved to become more tactical, offering you new ways to unlock the rewards that matter to you faster. We are introducing a novel progression system that allows...
Okay, so this is pretty cool. The devs actually talked about this on the Reddit AMA, I think a year or two ago now, that they were going to try and revamp the Battle Pass, make it a little bit more engaging, exciting. And yeah, being able to pick your path is pretty cool. Obviously, it now doesn't look as good as it probably would have if they released it a little while ago, because the new Modern Warfare has this. That said, their menu system and the way it's implemented is absolutely horrendous. So this surely can't be any worse.
Allows you to create a custom strategy based on your interests. As you navigate the
It
map,
certainly looks a lot
you can
simpler in
choose
this
what
video.
paths and rewards to prioritize. For example, if you main smoke, you can follow the most efficient path to collect all smoke exclusive rewards.
Makes logical sense. I like it.
Each time you go up one Battle Pass level, you earn Battle Pass tokens. Now you can actively use these tokens to unlock tiles. Exclusive rewards are available to all players on some of the tiles, while Battle Pass Premium owners get even more. New Battle Pass gadgets like the Breach Charge will allow you to forge your own unique path. You can now strategize ways to unlock the rewards that matter most to you, or unlock all rewards in any order you choose. Premium Battle Pass owners receive exclusive perks, including early access to a new season's operator, 30% battle point progression boost, 10% in-game shop discount, and more.
Yeah, looks pretty good. It's obviously not the most exciting thing ever, but...
Siege New Tactical Battle Pass. Plan your path, progress your way, pick your rewards.
Sounds good in theory. Sounds good.
We are really thrilled to bring this new Battle Pass system to our players. We're giving you more choices and more ways to progress into the Battle Pass in order to unlock the rewards that you want first. This is going to be the new Battle Pass standard going forward. And as you saw, we've also added new gadgets for you to interact with the Battle Pass, such as the Breach Charge. Going forward in the upcoming seasons, we'll be bringing more gadgets, so stay tuned for that. In April of 2019, we launched the Rainbow is Magic event. This was one of the most appreciated events from our community. One key aspect that was well talked about in the community was the drone skin, the cute little cat that we've had. So I'm really excited today to announce that we'll be bringing drone customization to the game.
Drone customization, pretty cool. I actually think this is a good idea. Not to be too much of a shill, but you know, ways to monetize games in a live service game this old. I mean, you need to find ways, otherwise the game just can't sustain itself. So that's nice. Only caveat to this is please do not make skins that make them harder to spot. Okay, pretty difficult considering the default drone is like a dark gray. But please, for the love of God, do not make them harder to spot. If you want to make them bright and easy to stand out, sure, whatever. It's your detriment if you want to use it. Do not make them harder to spot, please.
First off, it will launch in the Battle Pass, but stay tuned because it will be also available in events and also in the store in the future.
Next up, we've got balancing updates affecting some operators' health and speed, as well as changes aimed at leveling the playing field when it comes to movement while aiming down sights.
Ooh.
Here's game designer Robert Cole in our Barcelona studio.
Right now, 3-speed operators have a clear advantage when it comes to picking and fragging. We want to equalize the playing field, as we feel like shooting should require precision and not luck. So this season, we are making it so all the operators will have the same ADS movement speed, which will be the ones from...
All operators have the same ADS movement speed. I like this. I think that one of the fundamental issues that this game has had from launch, and they can't really get itself out of now because it's so ingrained, is this whole 3-speed, 2-speed, 1-speed shit. Everyone should have just been 2-speed. 3 speeds in a game like this, if you're not playing on like even on LAN, it's cooked. If you're playing on like online, it's just frustrating. It's just stupid.
From the 3 armor operators.
I like this. I like this.
Speed change, we are putting together another change to some of the health and speed of the operators. For example, we are changing Sense from a 3 armor operator to a 3-speed operator because we feel like
Sense 3-speed is going to be fucking pretty crazy,
and it will help them with the side takes.
I think it's a good change. I don't know why they were ever 1-speed.
Is Dokkaebi. We are changing her from a 2 armor 2-speed operator.
Yo, Dokkaebi is insane now. Her gadget buff plus 3-speed. Holy.
A 3-speed operator.
Plus EMPs.
Like with her new speed, she will be able to move around the map and hack the defender's camera much better. Finally, another example is Osa, which we're changing her from a 2-speed 2 armor operator to a 3 armor.
But again, important to remember that ADS speed is now the same. So a lot of this is more so for traversing the map and executing and getting into positions in theory.
Operator, because we feel like the extra health will help her survive the shots to the limbs, the only exposed parts, while carrying the shield. With the health and movement speed changes, as well as the ADS movement speed changes, we are excited to equalize the playing field and bring much more variety to the operator meta.
Earlier in the show, I told you you wouldn't be able to ban the Nighthaven Labs map at launch. I wasn't kidding. In this quality of life update, we'll tell you more about that, plus details on ability mode and more. Here again, our associate producer, Killian Callow, and game designer, Mathieu Lacombe.
We know that at the start, it's difficult to get into a new map. With Emerald Plains, we learned that map ban can be too restrictive in some situations. So, for the entire next season, all the maps will have the same chances of appearance in the map ban phase. When the new Nighthaven map will appear there, you will not be able to ban it. At the end of the phase, the random will decide which is the map played in that game. As mentioned, this change will be applied for the entire season and active in ranked and unranked playlists.
Alternate ability mode is the continuation of what we started in iCaliber. Last year, during Season 4, we removed the ability to switch fire mode on your weapons.
Okay, so this is a really cool change. The ability to change things like your Zephyr Lifeline without having to equip the gadget. Really nice change.
This season, we're replacing this input with the ability to change the fire mode of your gadgets without equipping your gadgets. For operators such as Capitao and Zofia, we will allow the players to switch ability mode when they're not equipped with the weapon.
Good change.
If you're going toward the building, you want to breach something, well, you might want to start with the impact grenades instead of the concussion grenade, so you can switch this as you move toward the building without equipping the launcher. So for Capitao, you will be able to change bolts without equipping the crossbow. So if you want to cover your allies with a smoke bolt, you can just change it before you get to the risky part where you have to face the operators. You can just switch it beforehand. We want to reward players that have a plan. If you know what you're going to do, you have a routine, or you know your specific plan that you want to execute in this map, well, we give you the tool to be ready, more efficient when you do so. We started in the high caliber with this feature, we're improving it now, and we're going to use it in the future. We're going to expand on it.
Did I see that right? Did I see that right?
Give you the tool to be ready,
Hold up.
more efficient when you do so. We started in the high caliber with this feature.
Diffuse or drop the kit on the objective. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We're improving it now.
Thank God.
We're going to use it in the future. We're going to expand
Nice
on
change.
it. We can look for it as to have 2 inputs for a single operator, which means that reworks, new operators can benefit from this feature. When you're playing with a controller with your drones, you can move forward full speed, but whenever you start to input some diagonals in there, you will get a reduction of your speed up to 33%, which means that when you're droning and you're trying to move away from an opponent, you get slowed down a lot. We are removing this limitation so you can have a better experience when droning. It will feel more comfortable and you have more leeway when
Okay,
you try
didn't expect to see that, but
It will
cool,
impact
cool
all
change,
of
I
our
think.
drones, be it the regular
Good luck trying to
drone,
shoot them on
Bossy's
controller
drone,
even
Twitch
more so now.
drone, Flores drone, Echo drone even. So it will impact all of the controller players using drones. Operators such as Twitch and Echo, they have a high value gadget, they move around, they have a really good impact on the rounds, but it can be hard to navigate with a controller. Removing this will allow them to have a better time, better experience, and have a better impact on the game. All right, for this one, I think a little story is going to explain it. Start of the round, you locate the bomb, there's the icon, you know that you're attacking this bomb site. 1 minute inside the round, your teammate falls, drops the diffuser on the floor, and now suddenly you don't remember where the bomb sites are. Well, we've all been there, right? With this change, what we're trying to have both the bombs icon and the diffuser icon, so you know exactly what you have.
Yeah, that's cool.
What we have right now is
I think everyone's been there, and if you say you haven't, you're lying. It happens to
We're
everyone.
combining those two together. If you discovered a bomb site previously, they will always remain visible. They will either be full yellow because you have the diffuser on someone, or they'll be black because
It's a very
you have
simple
the
change, but it's
diffuser.
good. I feel like this might happen like 1 in 1,000 games for people that are pretty experienced, but for new players, this probably happens all the time, and it's probably super confusing. So I like it.
Tuning your loadout to fit your playstyle is important. And the shooting range is a great place to get your weapon and attachment.
I've never used the shooting range ever.
Game designer
I've never
Robert
looked at
Cole
it.
is back to detail a new update.
Maybe
for
that's
the
why my
shooting
aim is
range
shit.
To help you get everything dialed in.
Maybe it's useful now.
We are very happy with how the shooting range is functioning right now. But it's true that players struggle to remember which guns and attachments they tested, as well as they cannot compare the recoils of the different weapons. This season, thanks to our amazing Shanghai team, we're introducing a new feature to the shooting range, the shooting records. It will be accessible through the same input as the scoreboard, and it will help players keep track of the different weapons they tested. We hope that this new feature will help players keep track
I mean,
of
that's
all the different
kinda nice, I
weapons
guess.
they tested,
Yeah,
as
sure.
well as compare the different
Not that I'm
recoils
gonna use
of the
it, but
weapons. Now, as a player, you will be able to find the best loadout that works for you, without
I guess
having
it
to
could be
remember
good
all the
for
different
comparing
weapons that you tested.
attachments on a single gun. So it might actually be useful.
The team is continuing to expand Siege's accessibility options to ensure more members of our community can play the way they want.
I think there's actually some good accessibility changes
From
coming
Archive
from memory.
Studio, associate producer Jane Gonchar is here to share more on new team color customization and advanced controller options.
We are very excited about our new update for accessibility. In Season 4, we spot the most important objects and gadgets in game that requires color change. So now your team color preference will be applied to the generic gadgets, CCTV, drones, operators gadgets, and their
that makes
elite
sense.
skins. Your team is blue and the opposite team is red by default. But we know for colorblind players, it's harder to distinguish some objects in certain situations, so we brought ability to customize, starting with 3 colors: blue, red, and orange. Your color preference could be changed and applied anytime you need it. As a positive impact, we expect players to faster recognize who owns object in game.
Nice
As
change.
an example, you are in attacker's team and the opposite team has Mozzie. So when you enter the room and you see your drones and it's activated, you see the LEDs working and it's colored on your enemy's team color. That means that enemies hacked your drone and using it at the moment. In year 8, we aim to bring more accessibility options.
Bring
so
some more
we
colors.
are looking how to expand the list of objects, gadgets, lasers, and even bring more colors to customize. This is a process and it's just the beginning. Aiming is
Cool
an
change.
important component for Siege. So later this season, advanced controller options will be available for console and PC players. By default, you
Holy.
won't see any changes to your aim. These options intended for more advanced players, so you need to go enable
Jesus,
it
okay.
in a controls
That is
option
insane.
menu. You will have the range of settings to tune your aim to get the feel that you're looking for. These options should help controller players to improve their gameplay performance as well as general comfort. We'll be listening to the feedback you have on this feature, since our goal is to increase flexibility and comfort for different inputs that we have in the game, so stay tuned.
And finally, you could play Operation Solar Raid on the season test server this week.
What?
You could put Solus and your gadget to the test, explore the new Nighthaven Labs map, and get a feel for the new features of Operation Solar Raid. Have fun, and be sure to share your feedback on R6Fix. Now before we go, we have that one more thing just for you. It was born of a collaboration
Probably an elite
that's
skin,
close to
right?
our heart
I
and
think it
sure to
always
make
is.
a few new Yana fans happy out there. Here is the new elite skin for Yana, inspired by Nier Automata.
Oh, mate, this is an instant cop. This is an instant cop. I would spend $100 for this skin. Oh my god. Holy. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool CGI. Hell yeah. Oh, it's available now? Oh, I'm going straight onto the store. Holy. December 6th, live release. Cool. Look, overall, 9 out of 10 reveal. I think in terms of features, incredible. Very extensive list. Rank 2.0 is incredible. Rep system, anti-cheat measures, just everything in general. Really, really exciting. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the new map is actually viable. I think it might be, although I'm a little bit concerned about that first floor. Again, I have to wait and see. Good that you can't ban it, so there should be plenty of data extracted from it. But yeah, super keen. I think I'm genuinely going to jump back into ranked and grind it, and hopefully it feels more rewarding, because I think the system does indicate that it will be. But yeah, we'll leave it there. I'll probably do another video in the future when they release like the full patch notes. We can go through those, break them down, and learn what we can expect from this new operation. But I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you are excited for the new season as I am. And I will catch you in the next one.